Welcome.
Hello, motherfuckers, and welcome to PH Damn, the podcast for damned PhD students, those who wish to become damned PhD students, and those who feel like children.
Or those who have children? No, that's a different episode.
That's a different episode.
That's a different episode.
We should do
yeah.
that episode though.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Cue for people to silence their phones.
Yes.
My phone is officially on work mode.
Mental
Welcome.
health check, though.
Yeah, mental health check.
Yeah.
How's everyone's mental health?
Ooh.
Are you okay, love?
Oh my god.
Is this a manifestation of your mental health?
Oh.
Okay, I will say one thing. I think I need to submit an amendment to my ethics application.
Same.
Which needs to get approved
Soon.
within the next 3 weeks,
Yes.
like maximum. Like in 2 weeks, let's say.
Is that for your symposium?
God.
Yes.
Why?
Because I just realized that the way that I'm treating the symposium, the people that come to the symposium that are not my research participants are essentially participants in my research.
Okay.
Yes, I get that.
Because they are there and they might talk and they
Yeah.
might write something because I'm going to have things in the room and you'll be able to write on them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if that's part of the research project,
Mm-hmm.
then it means, and I want to use that as data,
Yeah.
which I think I will, but I'm not that sure if I need it,
Oh.
but probably.
Was it not before a part of your data, like method or?
Not the
was.
people that are in, like not my participants, but like if you come to my symposium and you say something in the discussion,
Okay.
if you haven't filled in a
Yeah.
consent form and I've given you an information sheet, then
Yeah.
I cannot use what you said.
Right.
Then I need to cut it off, and that might be weird.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I only realized that when I was making this like form for people to submit, like that they want to attend, and I was like, wait a moment, and then I emailed my supervisor, and she was like, yeah, I think you need to submit an ethics application, and I was like,
But it's fine. Like,
Yeah,
you
no.
can draft a new sheet quite easy.
yeah,
Like, it
no,
doesn't
it's
have to
fine.
be-
There's just like too many things to do for me, especially
Yeah.
within this 1 week, like this week.
Because it's this month.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, because it's in the end of the month, so I need to send out things to the participants for the things that they need to send me back. I need to send out the invitations, like posters, like things like that.
What-
So it's just too many things to do. Yes.
What about observation data? Like, have you not asked for the ethics for that? Like participant observation
For the symposium,
for
Yeah.
you as an observer of the symposium?
yes, because I'll also
Okay.
record it and post the recording online and things like that,
Okay.
right? But I was thinking as the people participating in my project from the start,
Yeah.
and that will be in the symposium,
Yeah.
as the participants that I'm observing,
Yeah.
and I was thinking of the other people that might be around as
Yeah.
people that might be affected from the research
Yeah.
because they are in the room and they might hear things. But I wasn't thinking about them for some reason
Okay.
as participants.
I'm just saying, like, as a plan B, just
Yeah.
in case the ethics
doesn't go
doesn't work out in the next 3 weeks, which I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm emailing this guy that is like our ethics guy, whatever.
yeah.
And I'm like, sorry, if I do this, like this has happened, I figured this out. If I submit an amendment, will it be like approved within the time frame? Like how long do you need to approve the amendment? And he's like, you need to submit an amendment. I'm asking you how long it will take, like approximately,
Yeah.
not if I should do it or not. Like I'm not stupid. I know if I need to do it or not. Just tell me if you can approve it or not approve it.
Wow, that speaks to
Because-
our theme for today.
Because if you can't approve it in the time frame, I figure something else out and not
Yes.
include that as data in the first time. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
But do you think, like, if a person asks a question,
Yes.
that's data.
Yeah.
But if you just wrote it down
Yeah.
and then, like, put it in the video as, like, the prompt.
I
that
know, but it's
someone-
not just that. Because I'll have things on tables and on walls that people can
So you
write
have to throw
on,
it away.
right?
Yeah.
So
or not
if-
throw it away, but you can't.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
use it.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm realizing that this is like a bit of this, the way that I'm organizing the symposium is not that normal. So it's just a lot of loose things around and a lot of people that I need to explain what I'm doing. So they set
Yeah.
up the room the way that I want it.
Can you not apply for post ethics though? Like collect the data, do the consent sheets, consent forms and everything.
Can I do that? I asked my supervisor and she was like, maybe.
I do
Like,
it because it's not that big of I feel like sometimes you have to weigh things out.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing something really, really sensitive or really crazy, probably not get the consent first. But you just have pieces
People
of paper you
come
want people to
there
write
on
those
their
papers.
own. It's people that already want to come because they want to listen or be there.
Right. 'Cause
Yeah.
my thing is, in real life, if you were to do an event that wasn't part of your research and you just wanted people's opinions, you'd get them to write stuff down anyway. So I don't see why you couldn't get them to write stuff down. Do consent forms, participant information sheets. If the ethics goes through, then you use that data, and if it doesn't, then you don't use it.
I think that's what I will do, yes.
I think that should be okay.
Yeah, that's what I will do, yes.
I don't think anyone would die.
Yeah.
No, but also there is the case that you can ask, like, instead of, okay, let's say 30 random people come to my symposium. For all of them to have to fill in a consent form and an information sheet. It sounds slightly excessive.
You don't
want to do that.
If only 5 of them might.
I don't think so. For me,
Why
for
don't
example,
you do it there? Like, get them to do the consent there.
You think so?
Because it feels less, like, it's like, oh, they're coming in, here's your form, fill this out, and then...
And the people online just have the form online.
Yeah, and if they don't give you consent, then they can still put their data and stuff up, but just, like, give them stickers or something so they can...
They can put, like, a red sticker.
Yeah.
Like, don't use this.
but it might be a bit complicated. I still think it's completely okay to be a participant observer, take ethics for participant observation, and then just observe things. And for that, you don't need consent forms. You just need leaflets that say what is happening today. And then if someone wants to excuse themselves, they just excuse themselves.
That's true.
Okay.
That's
I might ask you again about this.
Okay.
I think this has gone away from my mental health. I am sorry I'm taking up a lot of time and space from our collective mental health check.
That is fine.
But yeah, I'm okay. I just have too many things to do and not enough energy to do them. Yeah, that's it.
I'll go next, I guess. I feel I'm socially so drained. Like, I don't even want to be here, if I'm honest. No offense to you.
Us.
And, oh, yeah, you too.
We are not offended that easily. Like, this is normal Marisa behavior.
And also, but I also, relate to
Like,
that.
when I had to leave to come and do this, I was like, oh, my fucking God. Like,
That's why I was not sure if I'm coming tomorrow. I need to see how my social energy battery is, right?
Tomorrow is a thing in my house, accommodation, whatever. Even, like, when Charlotte was asking me to book the room, I was like, because I knew I was going to be like this, because I knew, okay, I'm going out today. Yesterday, I'm going to be out today again. And now people will be coming to me tomorrow. So now I can't even leave because it's my house. And I was like, do I want to do this? But yeah, it's fine. So I guess that's where I am. PhD wise, what have I even done with? Wait, I forgot what my PhD even is. I forgot everything about everything. No, I've actually had like a decent PhD week.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
it's been a good week.
Right.
I wrote a lot. I wrote half of a chapter, but I planned like the entire chapter.
Wow.
So I now have 20-something pages of thesis.
Okay.
And
Wow.
That is amazing.
I know I did it in like 2 days. Maybe that's why I'm like so tired.
Probably.
And I have had emails back from people who were supposed to email me months ago.
Amazing.
Nice.
They said, and we had a whole call and everything. They said they would do things that will, progress my PhD. Will they do those things? I don't know. I even
Remains to be
used that
seen.
opportunity to put things in the calendar for next January because I was like, if I don't do it now, will we ever speak again? But no, it's been a good week. I'm just tired. This week I'm not gonna do anything. Actually, no. On Wednesday I'm helping with the medicine student exams. I'm gonna be a fake patient. I can't talk too much about it because I don't want to ruin their exam. But I have a condition. I have like a list of family history, drugs I've taken in the past.
Kind of sounds very shady. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it sounds
And
like we're going to
it's gonna be so
Charlotte's for
fun.
like
Yes, it's like a murder mystery. Like, it's gonna be so fun. And like we had a call with the lead doctor or whatever who's doing the thing. And I was thinking to myself, as I was reading the sheet, I was like, I think I know what this person has. And then we asked, like, can we know what the diagnosis is? And he said, oh, it's this. And I was like,
You got it.
I know what it is. I've had too many people in my family have this thing. So I was like, yeah.
I'm getting too good at figuring out what people's health diagnoses are,
Oh my God.
which is a bit sad, but okay.
But yeah, that is me.
Okay.
Praginia.
I am very close to a mental breakdown.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
Because I'm doing transcriptions and I'm still doing transcriptions, and I think it's taking ages. So PhD wise, I think I'm feeling very messy and messed up because there's so much going on. Very interesting data, but also these transcriptions are so painful to hear. I feel like I blocked out how difficult everything was and what people told me, and now I'm hearing them again, and it's just like there's mentions of sexual violence, there's mentions of like obstetric violence, and just a lot going on. And I feel like I'm having to listen to it again and again and again. It just drains me at the end of the day, and I'm doing it in the last like 1 month. That's all I did. So I told my supervisors last week to give me proper deadlines for tangible outputs, because otherwise I was not being able to do anything else except the transcriptions. And it was just taking me so long, and I'm just getting very emotionally I don't know, invested in all that that has been said, not in a sociological way, but more in a like, fuck, people shouldn't get pregnant, man. Like, it's the worst thing ever. No, I don't mean it, but like, yeah, so for some people it's really difficult. So that has messed me up. But otherwise, I think I've also been socializing a lot. It was Diwali last week, and I have been celebrating it since Thursday. Today is Monday. And I have...
Sounds like too much.
Yes.
Yes.
It was...
Like, I'm
But it
done.
sounds like
It
a lot of
is.
food at the same time that I appreciate.
Oh, every time someone's asking me, oh, how was the party? I just go like, the food was good. And that's all that I say. Because like for me, everything else is just a bit like, I'm seeing too many people. And they're lovely people. But I also think that I really need to have a week of nothing. And I don't know, just go to some like Lake District, people-less area and book a room and look outside and
That
have
actually sounds
zero
really nice.
thoughts.
It does.
Like walking around sheep.
Yes,
And
I need to
counting
touch
them.
grass.
Like,
But-
literally touch grass.
Literally
And sit
touch
like
grass.
in a hot tub.
Yes. And just
yeah.
like have a wine.
Yeah. Oh,
Maybe not wine. I don't even like
yes.
wine.
You don't like wine? Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah.
I don't know. But
The
you know,
idea
like,
of
that
it is
aesthetic,
good,
Or like
yeah.
a nice hot drink.
Yeah,
You know?
with the candle lit on
A
and
hot
like,
chocolate.
ooh, yes, a dairy-free one, please.
Yes.
But yeah, that's me. And but I am in the opposite direction of Marissa. I'm actually really happy to see you both, because for me,
I hate seeing you both. No, but yeah.
no, but because like sometimes I just need a structured mental health update and like
Fair.
feel that solidarity of like, oh, you know, that everything is messy. It's just not like, I do feel very disconnected from a lot of people that I am very close to right now.
Same, actually.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
you saying same actually makes me feel
Seen.
seen and better, and like as if like there is this entire feeling of like,
Yeah, but I think it's everyone, isn't it?
yeah.
Like everyone is really busy and
Yeah.
really stuck into, and I think it's a hard time when you're sort of ending your fieldwork and starting
to make sense.
like to make sense of things and to
Yeah.
like start writing and all of this. It's like a really hard transitional period.
Yeah.
And it's the start of the academic year and everyone is tired and we all want to be with each other and like have fun.
Yeah.
But no one really has the energy to do it.
Time, energy, none of
Yeah,
that.
so yeah. I think it's a general thing.
Yeah.
I'll try to come tomorrow.
Okay.
No, you have to.
Okay.
So now
What
that
are
we've
we
gotten that up,
talking about?
we're talking about
Babies.
infantilizing. Oh,
No, we're not talking about
babies.
babies.
Babification.
Babification
This
of.
is a better word than infantilization.
I kind of like babification.
Babification.
Of like being a PhD student. We haven't all the way planned this episode, so
You know why? Because we don't have time
yeah.
and energy.
But also, it's an experience because you'll come along in a discussion with us that is not
Right.
very
Yes.
structured.
Yes.
And that will be just like you're sitting around the table with us
Yeah.
and we're having a chat about how we feel, that everyone thinks that we are fucking babies
Yes.
and not full grown adults
Yeah.
of like 30 years.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry.
We might even, turn
I'm
the
like in a
microphone.
mood today, I
Okay,
think.
good.
We might
Good.
turn the mic to you.
This is becoming a bit too meta. Maybe.
Okay, to
like
tell
we're
us your
breaking the
experiences.
fourth wall.
Literally. So yeah, I guess so what we decided to do is, I guess, set the scene of what it is to be a PhD student in the UK.
Yeah.
And I guess potentially how it might differ from being a PhD student in other parts of the world. So here it is, I don't know, like you're considered a student.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah.
you're considered a student, so of course you can apply for a scholarship to be paid to do your PhD,
Yeah.
or you can be self-funded, which means you pay to do your PhD,
Yeah.
in the way that you would pay to do a master's, an undergrad, or any other form of
Yeah.
degree.
But one of the biggest things about doing a PhD in the UK is like it has to be done in 3 years.
yeah.
And the premise of that is that they expect you to already be a researcher. So you're not trained to be a researcher anymore. You're just doing your PhD from the first year. Whereas in the US there is some sort of training that happens in the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the treatment, the expectation is that you come as a researcher, but the treatment of you as a person doing a PhD is like that of a student.
Yes, it's like this collective cognitive dissonance because you're like, no, because it's really strange. Like when you apply, you have to show accolades. Like one of the reasons I'm even on a paper is because the person who put me on that paper was like, it would be better if,
Yeah.
you've been published before to start a PhD,
Yeah.
which kind of doesn't make sense
Yeah.
if you're supposed to be being built. But then we have to do things like training needs analysis,
Yeah.
and we have to show that we're being competent as academic researchers. So then, if that's the case, why do I need to prove anything before? Like, it doesn't.
It's basically like you're applying for a job,
Yes.
but then it's not a job, and everyone treats you like you're, I don't know.
But it's like you're applying to be a CEO or something. Like, even when you apply for a job, you don't do all of this. Like, you don't write as big of a proposal. Like,
Yeah.
you don't do so much preparation.
Yeah.
But yet, yes, we're expected to know nothing at the same time, and we walk
And
in.
our applications are essentially grant applications because aren't we
Yes.
applying for grants so that we can
Right.
do this? So why are we sorry, we just went in, but like, why are we treated like this if most of the expectations from us is like of that an established researcher, an established person? Because in the US, for example, you do have to apply for the PhD, but you have to show your statement of purpose and more studenty things, I would say. But once you're in the university, you get the grant automatically. And I'm not saying that it makes sense in that context, but it makes more sense than like all of us have applied for grants and applied for scholarship. And that's what anyway academics who are probably 10 years senior to us also do.
Yes.
So
And the example of the US is like in direct contrast with like examples of like, I don't know, let's say
Norway.
Sweden or Norway,
Oh,
etc. In North Europe, because there you are considered a member of staff, right?
Yes.
So if you're doing a PhD, you're not a student, you're a staff member. You are normally on payroll like everyone else. You get your nice pension schemes, etc. Whatever else a staff member gets, and that means you can also manage at the same time like your time and the resources that you have as part of your PhD without being controlled and micromanaged by everyone, right?
I think it kind of I don't know this because obviously we don't have this experience, but I think it also sort of protects you in a sense, in the way that if this is my job, then I'm going to treat it like my job. It's like my 9 to 5. I'm going to have like decent hours. If I go over those hours, I can. But it feels more like structured in a way that a PhD isn't here.
Yeah.
That I guess leaves you sort of vulnerable to overworking and overburdening yourself.
Yeah.
And that's not obviously always going to be the case because, you know, whether you're employed or not, you're going to be overworked in some way or form. But it just feels more, intense. I don't know, like it pushes you in the opposite direction of what we have here. Like I told you, my friend who lives in Norway was going to apply to a PhD and it was like 40,000 a year in pounds. And I was
in
like...
Norway?
Yeah. Which is still not a lot compared to like Norway cost of living
Norway
and stuff.
is like really, really expensive.
Yeah. But I was just like... Imagine that was us, and we get paid every month like normal people. We can like pay our rent like normal, like, you know, it's
But I do think the fact that we are paid, specifically like the three of us in this room, and other people are not paid, creates some weird dynamic within departments and within universities, right?
And within individuals,
and
like
within
there's
individuals,
this,
because there is these people that are seen that like we are seen like we have some sort of privilege because we are getting paid from someone to do this, and it's not just our fees are paid, but we get like stipends, etc. So we can somehow cover our expenses more or less, let's say. But then there is other people that pay through their own like savings or whatever through their family for their PhDs, and then that I think creates a divide. Where those people feel more like they are students. Because they pay directly to the university to be able to do this degree, right? And they feel like they are in a different relationship with the university.
They think that the university is like a service provider and they're just beneficiaries, like passive beneficiaries of like this system. Which
I wouldn't say it's everyone, but there is a little bit of this.
Yeah, I think it depends privilege-wise as well, like how you're paying for your PhD, because I guess when you come from a place that's a little bit more affluent and you can consider even paying for your PhD, it does feel like a little bit different. Whereas when you come from I don't know, like we know people who get loans from their like respective countries or however, and I feel like that dynamic is also quite different. And it leaves us, I guess, in that privileged position where we are funded and like, we've got someone to pay for it, but then it's not. It's awkward because we are more privileged than those kinds of people, but then we're still like not
privileged. I also think that taking a loan of that amount, if someone does, most people I know who are self-funded can afford that. But like people even who take loans, I don't want to generalize, but there is some sort of confidence you need to do that, I guess, or like some sort of like...
it means you
like for me...
pay your whole life.
For me,
so you need to know that you can do it and you'll get through the PhD, or you might just lose all of your money and be paying your whole life for something that you didn't end up doing.
But would you do this... Would you do this PhD if you didn't have the funding?
Oh no, that's why.
I can't even imagine.
No,
like, for
I
me,
couldn't.
It's very...
I don't know if I would get a loan. I don't think I could get a loan. Like I hate loans. Like I do not owe anyone or any bank or anything like a single pound.
I have £70,000 in student loans already. We here in the UK, you can.
That was such a good contract. Like I don't have a single penny. I have 70,000.
No, but I mean it in the sense that like in the UK, you get student loans. We have like quite an accessible student loan process compared to a lot of other countries. And it's the same for postdoc loans. So you can get a government postdoc loan. And I looked at that and I was like, I have £70,000 in loans for my undergrad
PhD
and postgrad.
Postdoc?
Sorry, not postdoc. Yeah, I said postdoc, didn't I? I meant PhD. Postgrad. That's what I meant.
That makes no sense. Why would you get a loan to work for someone? Because postdoc is proper work. Like
I just realized. But yeah, so I was like, I can't add to this loan because they all also come out concurrently. So yeah, it's not gonna. That's definitely not gonna happen. But there are people, like we have someone in our department who's done that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but I would probably be looking for a different sort of funded PhD or something. Like, I don't think I would do this. Or I would go to a country that you don't need to pay. Like, maybe I'd do a PhD in Cyprus that you don't pay.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't pay in Cyprus?
In Cyprus, you don't pay for university if you go to the public university. Like, for my undergrad / diploma thing that is kind of master's, that was 5 years, I did not pay a single euro.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
For the
so
public
good.
university, right? If you manage to get into the public university of the state, you don't pay anything because it's like it's education and it's like a
'cause you
public good.
You
Right?
say it in a way which is like so strange to
Right,
England.
it's matter of fact.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it makes sense.
England is
What
like,
the heck?
what?
Well, we used to have free university.
So
You
does
know,
Scotland.
I
Scotland
think-
has
I
free
think
university
that's why
or
there is
something.
here there is like
Or
this
free education,
kind
I
of
don't know.
divide into going into higher education, like that has to do with class,
Yeah.
and that does not exist in Cyprus.
So.
And I
my-
don't
my-
understand it because
Yeah.
in Cyprus, obviously, it doesn't exist because anyone can go to university if they have
Right.
good enough grades.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if your parents were farmers or if your parents were university teachers. If you have good enough grades that you can get, because also the secondary education system is such that anyone can get good grades. Again,
Right.
not like the UK. You can just go to university.
Whereas, like, well, my paramour is talking about going to university
Okay.
and like looking at those applications in the US.
Yeah, don't.
It's
even-
bad here.
Yeah.
Like,
It is bad. Like when I say there's a class divide,
Yeah.
Yeah.
as in, you know, you might go bankrupt or die if
Yeah.
you go to university.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
Yeah.
People can't go.
And then if you're almost dying, you don't have health care. So
yes.
it's just like
it's not even funny. It's actually
No.
quite
it's
sad.
very
Yeah.
sad. It's very
Just tell
sad.
them to come here. I was going to
No,
say that.
because
Do you
then
say
as an
partner?
international
Do you
student,
Do you say partner?
She said paramour.
Paramour.
Oh, paramour. Sorry.
Yeah.
Are we in a
never meant to.
are we in a partner stage already?
I don't like the term partner.
Okay,
we've
cool.
always been in that stage. I
Okay.
just don't
Okay.
like the term. It's just
Always been in that stage. We know nothing about Marisa's love life, by the
yeah,
way.
you're not
I'm
supposed
like,
to.
that's so like.
But anyway,
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
let's get a little more structured.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Let's
we were
talk
talking about the money and
Yeah,
like the
we're-
funding
okay.
and all of that.
We're trying to set the scene of
Yeah,
what it means.
yeah.
I feel like we've done that. Let us now talk about
Experiences
Experiences.
of infantilization or
Yeah.
babyfication.
Babification.
I have written. I've been writing them down over the last
Okay, I have
few
not.
weeks, months, maybe.
Normal.
I don't even
Okay.
know. Actually, 31st of October was actually no, that was the last time I wrote in it. Okay, so I don't know when I started this. So I'll bring up things.
Okay.
And then
Sure.
you tell me if you relate or if it
Okay.
brings you
Yeah.
up, brings
We
up
have-
other things
yeah.
for you. Yeah.
Stories, yeah.
So one of them that I have is very small. This is the first one. Not being able to book meeting rooms.
Oh my
That's
my
not
department.
small. That's
So
not
when-
small.
It's small in comparison to the other things.
Look at Lara, how triggered she is.
It's like, why the heck should I be arranging a meeting with someone
yeah,
and then
yeah.
I need to tell them, sorry, can you please book a meeting room because I
Yeah.
can't do it?
Okay,
Yeah.
for me, my issue is this, specifically in our department, right?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, everyone is now like bunched up a lot these days.
Yeah.
However, there's a lot of solo offices and there's a lot of time that people don't even come in if they're like not teaching and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So they have their own offices pretty much to have meetings if they need to. Of course, they might want to book meeting rooms. That's fine. We have one giant office that
It's
has
not
to fit all
giant.
of us. That's true. It's not even, well, we'll get
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
But we have one office that's supposed to fit us all in. If I wanted to have a meeting in there, I'm going to disturb people. It's supposed to be for silent work anyway. If anyone needs a meeting room more, it's us.
Yeah.
Right? Because we also have to do like, some of us are doing remote interviews and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like we're doing things where we need to speak to people in private. We have no privacy.
I mean, even if not that, maybe you're just working on a project together with another 3 people.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't just sit in the common room and
Yeah.
start working on it
I have
because
to
everyone
email
else
someone?
will kill you.
I have to email a person. Oh, we're going to get to that soon too. I tell you, I have a list.
Okay.
So I have to email someone to book a room because they have access to the system that
Yeah.
I can't have access to because I'm a student and I'm
Yeah.
not staff. that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And even that we're now like, we're GTAs, graduate teaching assistants or whatever too, we still can't book rooms.
No.
But that makes us staff.
Yeah.
But we still can't book
And we have
rooms.
staff contracts.
I think the idea is that we will
so-
be able to book rooms
When?
when they figure the system out.
Oh my God.
It's not going to
Because-
be in the next 1 year.
No,
so.
because they told us that they're supposed to give us staff accounts for that, and we need to use a separate email account, and with that one, we will be able to book rooms.
To be a GTA?
Yeah. But
So
I don't
have
know
to
if
be
it's
a GTA
true.
to book a room. I have to give my labor to students. No offense to other students.
Oh, well, a
Shout out
bit
to you.
of
But I have to do that in order to book a room.
Yeah.
Like I don't have other things to do. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's true. And also, like, it's silly because we do things that staff are doing. We're working on other projects. We're working on a lot of things at the same time. We might need to book a meeting with, I don't know, like someone from the
Yeah.
admin team or
Yeah.
from HR or whatever. And you can't just book a meeting. You need to tell them, can you please book a room for me?
It's so funny because
Pretty
I am that person who has absolutely given up, and I've never
I don't do it.
I don't try it. I just meet people in coffee shops, and I meet people outside the university or somewhere. Like and if I'm having a meeting within the department, I just go to wherever
Free.
it's free. I just go and sit, and I'm like, okay, try me,
Literally saying.
like remove
Yeah.
me, and then let's see what happens.
That's what I do.
That's my attitude now.
If I have a remote interview, I do it in the house
Yeah.
because I have
Same.
cameras and
Yeah.
stuff like I can do it at home
Yeah.
because I can't trust. But even then, I only do it at home when I don't have anywhere else to be. If I've got something to be like on campus in between a meeting where I have to remotely
Yeah.
speak to someone, I'm fucked. I've literally sat in the stupidest of places just to have a meeting.
Have a meeting, same, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
No,
so
it's impossible,
we
yeah.
can't book rooms,
Okay.
which
So that
apparently was
was-
small for Marissa, but for me,
in comparison to the other
Okay,
things,
it is,
yeah.
it is very frustrating.
oh my
though,
god,
yeah.
for me it's
Um,
just
Okay, so this leads to the not being able to book meeting rooms. So this brings me, I guess, to a situation where I was working with, who was it? Vicky, not Matthias, Mikhail, and
Anran.
Anran on our project, right? And we had to just sit in like a random area. And we were told, this place is for staff. Who are you? When we came into
it
a
was
room.
you and me.
Oh, no, that was the first time. This was the this
Were
has
you
happened
again
more than once.
asked about the
And
same thing?
That day it happened to us like 2 or 3 times in one day.
You know what? I think it's racist.
Same. No, I do. I don't
Because
care.
I have seen students sitting there, but well,
And people have asked us who we are so we can justify why we're in this space. But like I told my mom about it and she was like, you should have said to them, who are you to be asking me?
yeah,
Are you supposed to be here?
That's so
yeah.
Like, because there's
Was it
so
the
many-
security again?
No, it was like a staff member. Someone came out of the boardroom and asked us.
What?
Like literally. And then there was a time I left and I came back and they also had another story about it. Like while I was gone.
Oh my
So there's this whole like, who are you? You're not supposed to be here.
Yeah,
There were some people kind of like accusing us of being,
yeah.
I don't know, undergrads or something. And it's like, it was like June, no, it was like July or August. So what undergrad is going to be in the university in the summer?
Why
People
would they
just
be
love
there?
being cops, to be honest.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
the academia is basically the police station. I'm not even joking. Like people just want to police
To be
you.
honest, I think the issue gets worse because we are women
Yeah.
and quite young. So I do feel sometimes that people think that I'm a student. I am a student, but people don't think I'm doing a PhD, but they think like I'm just like a
really?
master's or undergrad, like just walking around. Because
Yes.
I think it's like, okay, you see a young woman that dresses casually, whatever, this, that. And they don't assume that you might be doing a PhD or you
Yeah.
might be teaching other people,
Yeah.
etc. Like I've gone into rooms that I'm supposed to teach, like I don't know how many people are sitting back,
Yeah.
to go and like open the screens and someone comes to me and says to me, well, who is teaching this? Why are you touching the computer of the room?
Oh,
Yeah.
And I was like-
man. People have guts.
Right,
Guys.
like who the fuck are you?
You guys
Yeah.
have so much guts.
I mean, to be
If-
fair, I also seen students open the door, look at me, look confused, close the door, leave the room, and then come back in 5 minutes. I'm not saying that's malice, but it
Yeah,
does
no,
happen that
probably
they
that-
see
that's-
me and they
yeah,
think that
yeah.
I'm like
it just...
Like one of them, and why is this person standing in the front? Like, where am I? Am I in the wrong place?
Oh my god.
But no, it pisses me off because, like, you don't even allow me to have book a meeting room space. I'm trying to find space within my department, and you have a problem with that too. Like, get the fuck out of my face. Yes. I'm here to do shit. Let me do the thing I've come to do. That's all I ask.
There's definitely also this culture. I feel like there's a culture of also like making spaces inaccessible to different people. Because one point, yes, I am a staff in a PGR and I should be able to access it. But why can't other people access it? Like, I don't understand, why does it have to be exclusive? It's not like we're having like this confidential thing that's happening. It's just that space that you're not allowed to. And now they've done this card machine thing and you can't even get in. Do you remember the other day you were there?
Yeah. I when I come to visit you, I can't really get in. I need to call someone to come open the door for me.
Oh, okay.
And I just take random photos. I'm like, I'm stuck here. Can someone come open the door, please?
Okay. I didn't even know that. Well, that happened to Anran one time. And so we let her in. And like someone came and was like, why are you letting this person in? Like, sort of thing. Because, like, what is wrong with people? Like, who cares?
Exactly. Like, who cares? I don't understand. I don't understand. Oh
but that was that one. We'll go on to
this
the next.
episode is pissing me off. It's so triggering.
Okay, so this one pertains specifically to Lara.
Okay.
So salaries getting lower due to our restructure, despite skills and workload increasing.
Yeah, so I'm going to a social after this.
Okay.
About this?
Well, no. But about anti-casualization.
Okay, you're going to the anti-social. Yes, so anti-casualization, my friends. So, my dear friends, I have been doing the same job literally for 3 years.
Oh my God.
Right? Now the university is restructuring, which means a lot of things, but it also means that new things get implemented, things change around. With the restructure, we also have one of the fights that the UCU, that is the University Union, had in the last years to be able to see GTAs, that is people that are teaching as PGRs, as staff members, right? To recognize them as staff members, which means you should be getting the same pension, you should be getting the same things that a staff member would get, which also relates to what we were talking about before.
Yes.
Yeah. So my dear school, my dear department in the university that has now merged between two departments, decided to take this as an excuse to say that everyone in the new school is being paid in the lower grade that you can be paid as a GTA. So that's grade 6. That means you're a graduate teaching assistant. And if you're grade 7, you're a graduate teaching associate. Here Here comes me and a lot of other people that have been doing the same GTA roles for years, and we were paid grade 7. And now I'm going through this process where I'm actually teaching without a contract, which I shouldn't be doing, but I refuse to sign my contract because I told them that I cannot be doing the same job.
Yeah.
And in the 3rd, 4th year, whatever it is, that I'm doing exactly the same job that is very clearly a grade 7 job if you look at the requirements, and you decide to downgrade me. Like, who do you think you are? Like it's not even, it's about the money, but it's not even about the fucking money. Like, who do you think you are that you can't say that the same job that you're doing, that you did last year, this year it's considered a lower on the scale of jobs. And I'm like, okay. And then I have some very nice module leaders that tried to support me in this. And they had to go to these meetings with HR and kind of plead my case because I wasn't even allowed to be there, which is also bullshit.
Okay.
And they are basically bullied about this.
Why were you
I was not
allowed?
invited.
Babification.
Babification.
Sorry.
Why would she have
Sorry,
to?
I asked.
Why would she be in a meeting that has something to do with her? That makes no sense.
Yeah, that makes no sense. Why would she even be there?
Yeah,
right?
like, what would she want to do that for?
Yeah, why is she even in the union? Because I'm like now telling them,
Why is
that
she even?
if they don't figure it out, I'll ask for union representation. Have someone go to those meetings and fight it.
Yeah.
And the point is that I'm not doing this just for me. I'm doing it because I know I have a lot of other peers in my school that perhaps don't have the energy or don't have the capacity at this time because of or they are not the type of character that would argue about this, right? And they're not gonna do it. I know that most of them are not gonna complain about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I don't complain, no one will complain, and it will go on for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And my biggest problem is that because I think we're seen as kids or as students or as, I don't know, not what we are, I'm also kind of feeling that people in my school, obviously the people that are on my side don't think this, but that I'm kind of labeled as a troublemaker or someone that
Probably.
stirs shit up.
But it's because you're not, I don't even think it's because you're infantilized. I think no matter what stage you're at, if you're doing something that you're not, quote unquote, not supposed to, you're not sitting in your place, that's
is this
where
not
you'll
sitting in
become
your place? Like,
right.
who the hell does she think she is? She's just a student. Why is she causing us so many problems?
Exactly.
And this is not the first time I felt like this. And I don't know what to do because I know that I'm doing it. I don't know. I think I'm right to do it.
You are.
But it's really hard, like even mentally, right? Because
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
taking
yeah.
on all of this like stress and emails and a lot of things. And I'm like, what is wrong with people?
Yeah.
Plus, you've got other things to do. I think part of it is also like banding together with other, like a union,
Yeah.
basically,
Yes, exactly.
in which you all share that workload of making trouble, of shaking tables, because it's unfair to always rely on that one person to be your spokesperson because they also have things to do.
But I think you're answering the question about the fact that like other people are not doing it because it takes like some
So
people I
much.
know
Yeah.
it just takes so much
Yeah,
toll
I
on
know.
them, and it's
I
just
know, I know.
difficult for
And
them to fight.
And if you do it together, if you do it like, you know, in that solidarity, it
Yeah.
feels less burdensome. Like you feel
Yeah.
less alone. You feel
Yeah.
more like you can empower each other in that
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's where it needs to probably shift. Like
Yeah.
you need to,
That's why I'm feeling like I don't really have that right now.
yeah.
And so I feel like I'm just put like in a corner and like I'm like the outlier and the one that complains. And every shot that is being shot is blaming me, if that makes sense.
Well, I think if
Interesting.
anybody does come and complain to you about the same things that you're already complaining about, you should say to them, like, don't come to me. Like, let's
yeah.
go to these people
Yeah.
together.
No, I know.
Just so
Yeah.
you don't end up.
It just, and it's not the first time this is happening in one sense or another. I felt it many different ways, or like I was involved organizing this thing. I've talked about this before on the podcast, this poster competition thing. And then suddenly, because I'm not a staff member, I cannot do room bookings. I cannot order catering normally. I'm not paid to do like all these admin things that the staff is paid, right?
It's another one.
Yeah, they refuse to pay me to do those things because they say there is staff members that are paid and within their hours, these things are included, right? So they need to do the bookings and they need to do this and they need to do the other thing. But they fucking don't.
Yes.
I still need to do it because I don't know what. Because they think that my time is infinite and I'm supposed to do it because I don't know. Because they tell me to do it, I need to do it because I'm a child or something like that they're ordering around. And then also I don't have any ownership of the thing itself, right? It's not something that is mine. It's just something that these staff members are organizing and I'm helping them. I'm not fucking helping them. I'm doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, what is the...
And
what
sometimes
is
they would
wrong with these
exploit it
people?
by
Yes.
saying that this would help your CV or this would help your career or
Exposure.
make some networks and everything. I know
Yes,
you
yes.
don't have to do it for that, but I think a lot of the times these sort of like actual jobs which should be paid are sold to vulnerable students and early career people into saying things like, oh, this is going to help your career.
Yep.
Do this. You're going to help it. It's going to add to your CV. The rep position.
Yes, I know.
Why
Yeah.
is the rep
Yeah.
not paid? It
I
should
don't
be
know.
paid.
The
Okay.
amount of work that I do as a fucking rep is like...
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So I was going to say, well, this leads me to
Yeah.
the next one.
Oh.
Expecting to do things with no compensation, even though you're likely replacing a staff member who was being paid to do it.
Yeah.
So I guess we spoke about that, or
Yes.
do you want to speak about it more?
I don't know. Maybe you have something to say. I was talking too much again.
No, I was just going to say, whenever I see something like that, like in our department, we have a seminar series that a staff member used to do. And then they asked PGRs if they'd like to volunteer to do it. Emphasis on the volunteer. And when I see things like that, that didn't pertain to me specifically because it wasn't my section of the department. But when I see stuff like that, I actively do not do it.
Yeah.
Same with the internships that we keep getting sent. Like, do you see them?
Sometimes, yeah.
And it's always like, we'll pay for your travel to the
Yeah,
place, and then
yeah.
that's it. So
Yeah.
now you're outsourcing my labor to another company for free,
Yeah.
and you're not even paying me for that. Like,
That's true.
I don't do it.
Yeah.
I already have so much time, like so little time to actually do my PhD.
Yeah.
If I'm using that time anywhere else, it's because I'm being paid.
You know what my problem is? I don't mind sometimes for the right thing, right? Like if I were to come together with my peers, my colleagues to organize like a seminar series, let's say, or a conference that is PGR led, and we were allowed to organize it on our own terms. We had like staff members supporting us in the ideas, but then we were able to do what we wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
And really have ownership of it and think about it in that sense. And then also say, yeah, we organized this on our own. And it's like a creative, productive space that
Yeah.
we're doing something for us to benefit from it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm going to do that. I'm all in, right? Like it depends. But I'm not doing something that something else has ownership of.
Yes.
Sorry, someone else has ownership of, and I'm just there to do all of the small tasks that everyone is bored of doing
Right.
without getting paid.
But that's
Yeah.
the thing. That for me, that's usually what I see it being a lot of the time. It's never, oh, we have this idea. Can you like put some funding behind it so
Yeah.
we can like
Yeah.
cater it and do
Yeah.
all of this?
Yeah.
Like that happens, but I don't see it happen so
Yeah.
much.
That's what should be happening,
Yeah.
right? Because that's what you can put on your CV, and that's what you can feel proud of and be happy that you organize this thing and you are part of it. And then if you
Yeah.
have to organize a symposium or a seminar, whatever, when you're like a staff member, you already have experience.
Yeah.
By booking rooms and like ordering catering, you don't get any experience.
Also, I think it might be easier if our PhD compensation and other stuff was better. Like, I feel like you need to be in that comfortable space to be able to be like, oh, I'm going to voluntarily do something unpaid.
Right.
If you're so exploited, if your PhD is so intense and so exhausting, it's difficult to have that motivation of like, I'm just going to do it because I believe in this.
Right. That's I was gonna say this. That's also part of it. I think it's the environment that I'm in. I'm so
Yeah.
used to being exploited by people that I guess I have that sort of shield up.
Yeah.
So even if it's something that I might want to do,
Yeah.
I don't want to do it because I'm
Yeah.
thinking who is exploiting me or
That
who
is
is
so
trying
true.
to. You know.
Yeah. I have done that. I have been asked by someone back in India to be like a advisor for their thing, but for pro bono. And I was like, I can't do it for free because it's just like, how am I gonna do all of this together and like my PhD and I knew that this person had money and they have this capital because of which they have been able to start a charity and all of those things. It's just that they want my labor for free. And I'm just like, it's not happening. And I'm so sorry. But like, yeah, it's not something.
Honestly, let's extend this even with this podcast because people have come to us in the past and the present saying, oh, like, can we come on your podcast for this and da 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 da. Pay me.
Yeah.
Pay her. Pay her. Pay us.
Yes, please.
And definitely don't come asking to be part of our podcast without listening to a single episode
Oh,
and assuming
yes.
things about us. Like, please do not do that.
I was gonna say that, but then I
Yeah.
was like, the whole point is that they don't listen to this.
Yeah,
I know.
that's true.
But anyway, it's like a statement out there.
no,
It
it's good.
is.
We don't have time to check random emails from Zionists.
Yes.
Zionists. Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Zionists, people in general that like kind of don't know the format of the podcast, but they want to come on and then have their own format.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work, and you have to listen to us.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Anyway, that was that. Wait, is there anything more?
But
on that?
interesting that we do this voluntarily. That's really cute, isn't it? We really
Yes,
like each
because
other.
this is something that we also own. Nobody takes
Yeah, it's our
Own-
thing. No one
ownership
can
of our
say
thing.
anything about it.
right, and we have the power.
And we also see the value of it.
Right.
Like for us,
Yeah.
maybe for other people,
Yeah.
whatever. But like, yeah.
Okay, so the next one is
Oh, look at her not engaging with this.
the next one.
Next one.
Being told when we can submit and not having any leeway to negotiate it.
Okay, I'm glad that you have brought this up because it's been brewing in my head for the last minutes.
Okay.
And I was like, Marisa has to have this on her list.
Yeah.
It's been brewing for me
Yeah.
many weeks. Okay, context.
Is this from the faculty thing?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
So within our faculty, so we have departments. I'm in sociology, Prag is in sociology, Laura is in architecture, and those departments are in the faculty of social science.
Yes.
Cool. Within our faculty, we have a policy. What is, how do we explain this?
Well, okay, so when you start your PhD, you get a letter.
Yes.
That letter has a lot of information on it, but very importantly, it has 2 dates.
Yes.
The one date is your fee-paying period.
Yes.
Right. That's the amount of time that your either your scholarships, your funding, or like yourself are paying for fees, and that's your main period of study.
Yes.
And that is usually 3 years. From this year onward, like our funding, whatever, is 3.5 years for fee-paying period. And it sort of depends on how long you do that, right? And then it has another date that says end of submission period.
Yes.
That is usually 1 year after your fee-paying period,
Yes.
right? So all 3 of us here have a 3-year fee-paying period, and then another year added on for our final submission date.
Yes.
Yes.
Within the code of conduct and in general, this means that okay, how do you say this now?
Like you're funded up until your fee paying period. So for us who are all externally, like scholarship funded, for that 3 years, all the tuition, maintenance, everything is paid for.
Yeah.
The year between the end of your fee paying period and what is it, the submission
Yeah, whatever
date,
the-
whatever it's called,
The end, like
that 1 year,
yeah,
we will not be paid for.
yeah.
It's
Neither the
But
university is paid.
neither would you pay.
yes, we
Neither
don't
would
pay.
you pay, right?
We
So the
don't.
university is not getting any money from us, from our funders,
Yeah.
and we are not getting any money from anyone.
Yeah.
Right.
But the idea is that that is a period within still you are allowed to submit.
Yes, that is like your God-given, university-given right.
Yes.
Apparently.
Apparently, to submit. So we have now a policy in
Yes.
our department where
In our faculty.
No, in our faculty.
faculty, sorry, where 9 months before your fee paying period is due to end. So 9 months before that 3-year landmark, you have to submit this, like, what is it called? Submission review?
Yes,
Yes.
submission review form.
To basically, with a Gantt chart, basically stating, this is where I am now. This is where obviously I need to be at the point of submission, and this is how I'm going to get there. These are the issues I have. What else is there? Contingencies I might make, all of that stuff to finish at the fee paying period date, so the 3-year date.
Yeah.
No, is my answer to that. No. So, but what happens is our head of faculty then reviews that.
It wasn't like that before. So it was reviewed by your supervisors and yourself. And it was just like another admin stuff that you do as a part of your PhD.
Yes.
It was not taken seriously in the way that it would create anxieties for you before.
Whereas now they're like, if you're not finishing the fee pay period, if you're doing field work, for instance, drop it. Don't do it. Stop doing that field work. No one cares. If you're writing and the writing is taking too long, drop a chapter. No one cares. Don't use that data if you're still analyzing it. That sort of thing. Just so we can get done by the fee paying period.
Yeah.
It is very, very common. When I say very common, it is more often than not
Yeah.
that a person does not finish within their fee paying period.
It's basically impossible. I don't know if I know a single, like, no, I know
our
one
faculty
person
lead,
maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
She did,
Yeah.
which is why she's saying
Did
that
she
we
do
all
her,
can.
Did she do
Yeah.
her PhD here in the
Yes.
University of Sheffield?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she was
Okay.
like, I finished in my fee paying period and I was working and I used all of my data.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the type of person that I hate.
I hate these
Yeah.
people.
There
They're
are so many
ableist.
problems to that, isn't it? Like, it's also like comparing what you can do with anybody else, like as if like we are all white and I don't want to
And
say her
able-bodied.
nationality or anything, able-bodied,
Like,
and
not
don't have any
everybody-
problems.
Right, don't have things
But
happening in
it's
our
not
life.
even just about problems. It's like the way that you think and how much effort you can take, right?
Yeah,
Like our
absolutely.
minds and our bodies at some point shut off
Yeah.
and need like a bit of a holiday or
Yeah.
need a bit of space to think
Yes.
more
Yeah.
openly or more
Yeah.
creatively about what you're doing. Because if we were all like doing it like this, like working and doing the PhD, then all PhDs would not end up to any knowledge that contributes
Yeah.
to your
Right.
field
Yeah.
and would just be like, just do like an experiment for the sake of doing the experiment so you can say something so you can get your PhD. And that's not really the point.
No.
Plus, like, I have many titles in my life. PhD student is one of them. I am a daughter. I am a friend. I am a sister.
Yeah.
I am all these different things.
partner.
I'm a partner. I'm a paramour.
Paramour.
I have all these. I'm all these different things to different people, and I'm accountable to all those people in
Yeah.
some way, right? I can't just focus on doing my PhD.
I'm sorry. My understanding of this entire thing is it's not about doing it more effectively. That's not what they're trying to do.
No, they're trying to get us out.
They're
Yeah.
trying to get rid of us because they have had more PhD students. They've taken up more PhD students than they can handle. And now, for example, in my department, there are like 105 people registered right now as PhDs. And they're not being able to provide them with infrastructure or guidance and
It's that, plus she also mentioned that to keep receiving funding, they need 70% of people to finish within their
yeah,
fee-paying
yeah,
period.
yeah.
I was going to say that we are also a number and part of statistics of
Yes.
the university
Yeah.
that then go into how much funding they get.
Yes.
They also go into the, what is it called, the rankings that
Yes.
different
Yeah,
universities
yeah.
have and different organizations do ranking of universities, etc.
Yeah.
So simply they're telling you, I don't care about who you are and what you're going through and what you're
Yeah.
trying to do in your research. You need to finish in 3
Yeah,
years.
Yeah. But again, one of my biggest problems with this is also the lack of transparency about this. Like they are trying to sell it to you more like, oh, why can't you do it? I did it. And more like, you're not good enough.
No,
You
but they
should-
make it seem like it's an elective choice to go
Yeah.
past your fee-paying
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
Yes, because we all love to be in precarious
Yeah,
positions. We all love to not know where our next
yeah,
meal is coming
yeah.
from. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, this-
we do this because it's just the nature of doing
Yeah,
a PhD.
yeah.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My project might go left. It could go right. We don't know. But the whole point is things happen
Yeah.
and we need to get the thing
Yeah.
done. And if I get to, if I
sorry.
get to a point where I submit,
Yeah.
I do my Viva, and then they're like, oh, you need to do some major changes because, you should have more data in this area.
Yeah.
And I always had that data, but they
Yeah.
told me to take it out because
Yeah.
of this fee paying period thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to be pissed off.
Yeah.
Because now you've wasted like a submission for me.
Yeah.
Because I only get 2.
The other problem is that if every one of us finishes with a PhD without doing anything else to put on your CV, as sad as that sounds,
Yeah.
that's not enough to get a job.
No, it's
Right.
not. Yeah.
We need to write papers.
Yeah.
We need to organize all of these stupid poster competitions and conferences that you want us to organize. We need to go to conferences. We need to be part of other research groups or reading groups to be able to develop as whatever researchers or as, I don't know, teachers or as whatever else. So we can then move on forward with our professional life, right? So if you just want us to just only do the PhD, then you're just gonna get a lot of graduates
Yeah.
Right.
that cannot get a fucking job.
Yeah.
And then I think as well, like the bottom line of all of this is if I choose to be in that position and you have given that to me because you give me that year, who are you to tell me that I can't do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, like the CV stuff as well, 100%, it boosts your CV. But also, like, you're never going to do a PhD again. You're never going to have all of this time to do, like, these things and get involved in these projects and meet different kinds of people and stuff. And sometimes you just want to do that to do
And some
it.
of us are invested in this. Like, I
Right.
care about my
But that's
I
what I
PhD.
mean.
really care about my PhD.
And you were making it seem like as if
I should
like
just
it's
throw
just a
data?
task. Yeah.
Like, do you know what? And plus, it's a disservice for me. It's a disservice to my participants.
Exactly.
I've spent all
Oh
this
my
time
God.
going to talk to you. You have spent time
Yes.
to tell me things that you might not have told anyone before. Like, some people have told
Exactly.
me about like the blood cancer that they have. They haven't even told their family members that they have this blood
Right.
cancer, right? And you want me to just throw that away?
Yeah.
Like, it took something for that person to speak to me.
Exactly.
And like apparently
and
to you it's just not
time
important, it's
for
just
me
data.
to process it. Like,
Right, and it's just data to you. Like, it's
Yeah.
not just data to people. Like, this is the person's story, it's their
Exactly.
life. Like, it's just insane to me how people like can look at things like that.
yeah.
I think one thing that is though good to remember, and that's also what's this, I almost said her name, what this woman was saying, this faculty woman was saying.
I can't stand her. By the
And
way.
no, I cannot stand her at all. But I think something that is good to keep on thinking and taking with us from when we start our PhDs is that this is not your final big project that you do of your life, right?
No, yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need to do a million things. You obviously will not do groundbreaking research during your PhD. It's your entry point and your training to be able to do this research so you get your PhD and then you can do other things, whatever that is, be in academia, work in external organizations in the third sector, whatever you want to do after, right? It's like an entry point. So
Yes.
yeah, it shouldn't take over your whole life. It shouldn't take over your mental health and everything else and all of your resources. So it makes sense for us to be able to finish within our fee paying period in that sense. But if they want us to finish in our fee paying period and they want us
Extend it.
to support it to do that, first of all, they should extend it. And second of all, I think they need to put the fault on supervisors and not on the PhDs.
Yes.
Sometimes,
Because
yes.
mostly because even if you have a good supervisor, if the way that your supervisor is supporting you or like pushing you to do your PhD or helping you to do your PhD is for a PhD that doesn't take 3 years but takes 4 years, then it's their fault.
Yeah.
They need to be able to say from the start, from day one, not after, like in year 3 when you're trying to write up. They should be able to say from day one, look, okay, cool, but maybe this is not possible and feasible within a 3 years that you need to write up.
Yeah.
What contingencies could you have until this point of time would say you need to be finished with your field work? If you don't get to do everything, it's okay. What are the things that we prioritize? Whatever. I think our supervisors need to be able to do this and communicate it properly from the start.
Okay.
And they're not training them to do it.
I was gonna say this
Yeah.
is like a slight deviation. But did you see that thing with that girl from India?
Yes.
I forgot her
Oh,
name.
yes.
Oh my fucking
Like-
Oh,
god.
but
Lakshmi
I do
something?
have, yes.
Now
I
I'm
do have
sorry.
opinions.
I have opinions.
I have many opinions.
I have
about it.
many opinions.
And they're also conflicting even
Same.
within
Do-
my
do-
own self.
Sure. Do
Yeah.
you want to give a brief of what
Okay.
happened?
So there's this girl Lakshmi. She's in Oxford. She's an international student.
Too close to home for me, at least. Yeah, but anyway, yeah.
So she doesn't get to Viva. What is it? It wasn't Viva. It was like some form of like confirmation review kind of thing. So it's
No,
like a
it was in
Viva-esque
her fourth
thing.
year or something like that.
Yeah, but I
Or-
don't think it was her actual Viva.
No, it was not her
No,
Viva.
no.
But it was
Let's
like
say
a,
it was her
a
submission
checkpoint.
review.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, at some point.
It was some form of
but
checkpoint
in the later stages.
in
Yeah.
her fourth year,
Yeah.
and they told her that she does not have a viable PhD.
Yeah.
And
Not her
so-
supervisor, some whatever examiner.
Whoever that
she
was,
had.
yeah. And so she got let off the course. Well, not let off the course, but she got given a Master of Philosophy or whatever it is, MPhil.
Yeah.
No, I think it was she was told to do a master's.
Yeah,
rather
she was
than a-
downgraded to an MPhil.
Oh, an MPhil or a master's?
A master, an MPhil is a Master's of
Oh, is
Philosophy,
it?
no?
Yeah, but it's a degree higher, I would say, than
Really? I would still call it
Yeah.
a Master's.
a little
I
bit.
think it
higher.
was not an MPhil.
No, it wasn't MPhil.
Wasn't it an MA in
I
something?
think it was an MA because she was like, "I've already done an MA. Why should I do another MA?"
I think she did
Okay,
two
we're
MAs.
going to Google this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was like, she was pissed.
Oh, she comes up straight away.
But I have so many. I don't know. I have opinions.
Yeah, I have opinions too, but
I have opinions. My opinions are right. So what she said, I think this is what is important as well
Yeah.
to the reaction that she got. Is what she said is that she comes from an underprivileged background, right? Because she had to sell properties
From India.
to be able to do the PhD,
Kage is dying.
and she
Yes.
spent £100,000 to do the PhD in
loans,
Oxford.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, oh wait, I still haven't checked to see what she's got. Sorry, I'm on her GoFundMe.
She has a GoFundMe. Okay, that I did
For
not.
what?
to take legal action against Oxford.
Oh, okay.
I have two things to say about it, but I'll let Praga go first because I know you're burning.
No, I'm not burning. I thought it was a bit problematic for her to say that she's from a marginalized or underprivileged background from India,
Okay.
because I don't think she understands
What that
like
means.
what that means. She is probably also upper caste, and it requires so much privilege to be able to do a PhD in Oxford or even apply for one.
Mm-hmm.
Given the context of India and like what it means to be underprivileged in India. I mean, I can't call myself like that either. So it doesn't work like that. And I was very disappointed in her. The other thing that I was I have opinions about is probably this entire idea of like being able to get a degree because I paid for.
I didn't say like that
And
at all.
I
and I'll
get
tell you
that.
why.
Yeah. No, yeah,
But
for
no,
sure.
but go on.
But I don't think it was her problem. I just think it's the university culture in the UK that promotes that, where they say that, yes, if you pay us, we can think about giving you a degree. And like education shouldn't work like that at all. I feel like her demand and her going and talking to the BBC, and I don't know if the BBC put her statement like that or whether she actually said it, but she said that I paid this much amount and I didn't get a PhD, I got a master's. And I feel like that sort of monetary exchange sort of the thing is a bit
Okay.
Okay.
My
difficult
opinion on
to
that.
get my head around. Yeah.
My opinion on the whole thing. I think her saying she's underprivileged was stupid.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, though, we have, especially in this country, academics who are very, very so class focused that is all that they focused on.
Yeah.
That and the £100,000 that she paid.
Yeah.
That to me was completely beside the point. It was stupid of her to say,
Yeah.
and does show that she lacks insight.
Yes. As a
I
PhD student. I'm
don't
kidding,
think
no.
it was the thing to focus on, though.
Yeah.
I think the thing to focus on was the fact that she paid £100,000
Yeah.
and she got a master's out of it because
Yeah.
the only reason she paid £100,000 was
Yeah.
because she did 4 years of this.
Yeah.
When you should never be told in your
Yeah.
4th year
Yeah.
that your PhD is not viable for an actual PhD. Like your project is not viable for a PhD. You should never be
No.
told in year 4.
But like sometimes the ideas are very good in the beginning, but PhD is work. It's not like.
But she did a lot of work.
Yeah.
She has all those references showing that she put in all the work.
Okay.
I think
I don't know.
like-
I don't know enough about.
I did
her
read these
PhD.
references as well.
Okay.
So I think what I understood, so she asked a lot of people that she interacted with in different ways in the university that she is, but also from other universities
Yeah.
or from conferences that she went,
Yeah.
to write a statement if they support her for the work that she's doing, like for the
Right.
research that she's
Okay.
doing. And what I understood, without being an expert on the subject, because she's like an English lit person,
Yeah.
and that's research on Shakespeare, and I know
Yeah.
nothing about Shakespeare or English lit.
Yeah.
I know,
do,
like,
I just don't care.
Yeah, I know very little. But what I understood from that is that she has different approach to it. Like she's trying to say something new.
Okay.
And within Shakespeare, like researchers, whatever, there is different like directions that you can go in.
Right.
And she's going to a direction with her research that is not the most common one.
Okay.
And that some people don't think that is proper knowledge or proper research. Right?
Only some people don't think that.
Yeah, like
Okay.
like
Then I
the
would say that's
canon, like the most
Yeah.
like common people, whatever
Okay.
the most the researchers that are doing the normal kind of not normal but the usual type of
Okay.
work, usual type of research, they don't think that's valid to talk about or think about. That's sort of
Okay.
what I got from her references that she posted on Twitter.
Okay.
So it felt like she took an approach that the people that examined her did not recognize, and they said that because I don't understand or I disagree with what you're doing,
No, that is wrong.
you shouldn't get a PhD because you don't know what you're talking about.
But then, like, and so that's where, for me, I feel like people were gaslighting her in terms of, because, right, the £100,000 underprivileged thing, I think people latched onto to dislike her and therefore discredit her entire argument because at the end of the day, you have been failed massively by your department or by someone.
By your supervisors
Right.
or by whomever.
Yeah.
If
And I
you
can see
get
that
to
happen.
year 4
I can see
and
that happen.
that happens because that's actually ridiculous. And I too would be incensed if that happened to me. And I think most people
Interesting.
would. And so the idea that they're blaming her because of that and said, you thought you could pay for your degree when that's not what was said. If you take it in, like my thing is, if you take it into context, if they had told her from way earlier, oh, you're not going to get a PhD, she would never have spent £100,000. She would have spent less. And I feel like it partly commodifies her as a student in a sense where it's like you see, like a lot of people see international students as cash cows.
Yes.
And so they, for me, like how I saw it anyway, is it seems like she was elongated in that sense because she provides money to the university.
Because
like,
how do you think about this with respect to your project? Do you think that no matter what, you should pass the Viva?
no, I'm not saying no matter what I should pass the Viva, but I'm saying if I don't pass the Viva, again, I still don't see that as my fault. Like, I really don't. I don't see myself getting to Viva, not
I'm
passing
sorry.
2 times,
I think
and that's my fault.
I think for
No,
some,
it's not your fault.
Yeah.
No.
If you don't, if a
Yeah,
PhD goes all the way to their Viva, and they don't pass their Viva, like they are failed, not they pass with minor or major corrections, but they fail. This is the fault of the supervisors.
And I just feel like anyone who's ever seen my PhD in any
like
capacity
from your confirmation
has
review
failed
to
me.
your supervisors, your examiners, everyone has failed you and has failed to support you. And you were led in a wrong direction, and that's why you're failing. You can't just fail.
And I feel like that's where I would feel entitled to a PhD. The fact that I've failed.
Would you feel entitled to the PhD?
100%, because
that's interesting.
Because it's such a guided process. I wouldn't feel so entitled to like a BSc or an MA or whatever, because I have way more control over what I output. Whereas I feel like here, also due to partly the infantilisation, but like there's so many people giving me advice and stuff. If I refuse to take that advice, that's different. But then I shouldn't even get to the point of Viva if I refuse to take that advice.
You should be cut off earlier.
Right. I shouldn't get to a Viva.
Your
and
supervisors
fail.
shouldn't let you to go to the Viva if you haven't produced enough work.
If I get to a Viva and I do like major corrections, and then I do the Viva again, and then I fail.
But
that's
this wasn't the
different.
Viva, was it? Like, it was a checkpoint.
Right,
And I'm
it
just
was a
saying,
checkpoint.
I'm just saying, one of these checkpoints can be very, I don't know, it
then,
can
like,
be
why
real.
I'm sorry.
here? Like, it should have been
So
like,
much earlier.
so much. Like, this is, and that's why this is a story to me, like newsworthy in the sense that this doesn't happen to people because.
Oh no! I think I
we
know
know
people
that this has
who
happened
who have
Right, but it happened
experienced
to them
this.
earlier, no?
No.
Who are you talking about?
What's his name?
No, I am talking about.
Right. It happened early.
Yeah.
Right. And with, again, that was a departmental issue because it's a lot to do with things.
Yeah.
Right. It's got
The
But she
standards are also
basically
very different. That's true.
infantilized him and told him, you cannot do this.
right.
So don't even try and leave. That's also like a lack of agency from the person doing the PhD themselves.
But that's like my thing where that's why I feel like, but yeah, I think because of the people that we know that this happened to in the past, it didn't happen because they were just like the most incompetent people in the world. It
Absolutely
happened because
not.
they were failed. And I feel like when you go and start and do a PhD, you're entering into that form of contract. You know how I was talking was it the last episode? Yeah, the red flag, green flag, And we're talking about how it's your supervisor's responsibility to be accountable to you and provide that support. That's sort of how I feel. Like, I feel like they didn't, unless they did everything they could do and they were just terrible at their job. That's one thing. But like, I do feel like because you get so much support, you should get to the end of your PhD or get to some point in your PhD.
I'm mixed
and
about
have a
this because I
PhD.
also think that I do take charge for my PhD sometimes, and I do make the decisions, and there is some accountability that should also come from my side.
Of
And
course.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying it is my fault if I fail, but I also should be able to take some accountability if I fail
Okay.
at some point.
I
It's the supervisors have to do something with it too, because they're also a part of this team and they have to take accountability, and that's why I don't want to completely blame it on her. But tomorrow, suppose someone says, you know what, you're not being able to produce a consent form, or like you're not being able to show me that you've taken consent from your participants. I think they should be able to fail me.
No, but then that's
for that.
me that puts that on me.
That's what
But
I'm saying.
I mean,
Like, it's a mix of. I think there has to be the researcher, which is the primary researcher, has to be also. There has to be some sort of accountability. I don't know what happened to her,
But like, I think that's also like I find that very contextual. Do you know what I mean? I think when I look at it in like the general sense of things,
yeah,
you do obviously you are responsible for producing your project,
yeah.
but you're given so much advice and so much things, and if you do take that advice and then
Not always, Marissa.
you don't think so, because we have
I think
confirmation
for me,
reviews.
yes, and for our department, yes. But I don't know what happens in Oxford, and I don't know how
But then
much.
that's the thing,
you know.
but that's their fault. Like if they don't
Oh,
give
yeah,
that
yeah,
guidance,
for
that's my
sure,
point.
for sure,
My point is they're
absolutely.
accountable to give you guidance. They're
Absolutely.
accountable to give you
exactly.
support.
They're not accountable for
to
the
review you.
research that you're doing,
Yes.
but to support you, to guide
Yes.
you,
Right,
to,
and if you
yes.
to
didn't
make sure
receive
that, you
that,
are on track. And if you're not on track,
Yeah,
that's
there should
in
be
huge
like
part to them.
absolutely.
yeah, but they should also be able to tell you you're not on track, get on track, or
Yeah.
you're leaving.
Right.
That's okay,
Yeah.
but that's a different story from getting to a point and someone that is external to your project
Yeah.
coming in and saying this research that you're doing
Yeah.
is not valuable at all, so you
Yeah.
shouldn't be getting a PhD, just
Yeah.
go get a master's.
Yeah.
Because I think I kind of felt it like a lot when I read it the first time, because there's people in my department that do not understand why I'm doing the type of research that I am doing. And they are saying, oh my God, someone literally told me one in a poster competition, they said, I don't understand what will be not the outcome of your research,
Yeah.
but what will be like the result or whatever.
Okay. How will this
Like
impact?
tangible.
No. That there will even be like a result to something.
Oh, like for you to discuss,
Yeah.
like findings.
weird.
Yeah, and why is that? Why that it's not relevant at all?
Oh,
Oh, that is bad.
Okay,
No.
and wait a moment. I understand why that person said that, because
Okay.
the type of research that they are doing
Yeah.
is nowhere close to the type of research that I am doing, right?
Okay.
So if that person sat in a review panel for my project, for my thesis, they would say she shouldn't get a PhD.
Yeah.
Because this thing that she's doing has no standing. It makes no sense. I don't understand what the point of
Yeah.
it is. It's not research like how I think we should do research.
Yeah.
So they would be like, okay, go. You shouldn't get a PhD.
Interesting, because can't you decide who your external is going to be?
you don't really decide though. I thought you
I
just
think
suggest.
you do, because I was talking to Anders the other day, and he told me that he approached someone to be an external,
I
and then
think-
you.
I think it's
can
quite
make
common
some
for either
sort of,
you
like,
or your
supervisor
supervisors to be
to-
able
Yes.
to
to
do
be-
that. But we don't know how it works in
But it's not
Oxford. That's
like-
how
Yeah.
it works here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
so
yeah.
I
So-
exactly would never seek advice, feedback, or that person being anywhere close to my
Yeah.
PhD, right?
Same. I don't want to be examined by someone who doesn't understand what I'm doing. Like
Yeah.
that's
That
not-
would be
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
hope this person had someone who knew what they were doing.
To me, that's
again,
what it sounded
I
like.
feel
I
like
don't know. We're
context is
projecting
so
now.
exactly
Yes,
like
we're
we're assuming
projecting.
so
Yes.
much.
Yeah.
But I also think that I also think that there is this. I don't want to blame her at all for this, because like that's not what I meant when I said. I definitely like there's no individual fault. Except I'm from an underprivileged background that I can't get along with. But I definitely think it's like this entire university culture in the UK where it's just like okay to see international students as cash cows. Like, what is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is that about? Like,
That is a very unique
so
thing, and
so
it's
problematic.
although I think sometimes it can be quite good
Yeah.
in the sense that like because international students, a lot of them provide a lot of money.
Yeah, and now it has absolutely broken down the university
Right, and that's where it, to me,
system.
it becomes like a quite a good thing. I'm not gonna pretend. But like, it's just I do believe. I'm not saying that the researcher themselves is not culpable at all.
Yeah.
I just think their culpability it varies contextually, but
Yes.
it still to me is less than the culpability of the people around you just because you have too many eyes looking at your PhD to get to a point at the end.
You should have too many eyes.
Yeah, but I don't know if you do.
Yeah,
Is a very
if you do, it's their
people
fault.
in our department. You have to speak to so many people.
No, because
Again,
I mean,
you
like,
can't put
you've
this
got the two
in.
supervisors, right?
Yes.
Then you've got your 2 confirmation reviewers.
Yes. They're not gonna.
Some of them are the ethics
They're not
reviewer
following
too.
you after that. Like
No,
after your
but I mean, just
confirmation.
I mean, like through the life course of your
Yeah,
project,
yeah.
you go out and do presentations
Yeah.
and stuff of your research, and so yes, people see it in different capacities,
Yeah.
but they see it, and it's
Yeah.
like, how
Your
are we?
PGR
How have we?
directors, your mentors,
I think in our
whatever.
How did
department,
we get
especially, like
here?
there's like submission review, which not submission review, biannual review.
Yeah,
that
that's why they
happens
have we have
every-
all those reviews
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So that's
How
the
did we
point.
get
So they're
here?
keeping
Like,
track, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We
But I don't
can't
know what
get
happens in
there.
Oxford. Please, if someone's listening and you're from Oxford and doing a PhD, tell us.
We do have Oxford
because we have
listeners.
questions. Like, and also, I don't want to say this, but I also think a lot of people lie and make the supervisors think that they're working, which is again like
and
a
then
very
that's
out
on
of
the
pressure.
fault of the
Supervisor
researcher
and the,
to me.
Oh, what is it?
It depends obviously on
sometimes,
the
you know,
dynamic and
if
yeah.
you're under pressure, you would say that, okay, I'm on track, but you might not be, and it is because of how much pressure you
But then
have.
how can you lie and say you're on track? 'Cause,
Well,
okay,
this
like, when I
person
lie-
did.
When I lie to my supervisors and say, yeah, I'm on track,
Yeah.
like how I produce things and they
Yeah.
see it. So they know when I'm on track.
Well,
like
not-
that's what I'm. What is going on?
I don't think everybody is as involved as your supervisors.
But then that's the supervisor's fault.
Yes, and
These.
it's so fucked
That's
up.
what should happen is all these eyes are supposed to see your PhD and see it for what it is.
Yeah.
If they don't see it for what it is, right? There are very few times, in my opinion, that it is that person's fault.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, it's going to be the supervisor's
Yeah,
fault
yeah.
or the department's fault or someone's fault.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck? How can I get to 4th? I swear to God, if I pass this fee paying period, I
Yeah.
get to my 4th year and these motherfuckers tell me I don't have a fucking PhD.
Yeah.
This should
Right?
be in the recording, please.
This is going to be in the
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
and they tell me I do not have a PhD.
Yeah.
You think I'm going to the BBC? I'm going to Keir fucking Starmer, and I'm gonna say, "Excuse me, like what the fuck? What we doing?"
Downing Street.
Like, I will tell every international student in the world, do not come here. Let this university crumble. Because what do you mean
Yeah.
that like no? Because okay.
Yeah.
No, because I was furious on her behalf, and I understand she is very unlikable. I likely would not like her in real life. However, but I think sometimes people get bogged down in the individualism of a situation.
Yeah.
She is a very unlikable person. However, the situation, like the environment that allowed that to happen is a
Absolutely.
real issue that I
Absolutely.
think
Yeah.
we need to
Absolutely.
talk about.
Yeah.
I haven't even gotten through my infantilization list, but I feel like we should
Number
end.
2
Yeah.
episodes.
Yes, because I don't even know if I'm halfway.
No, you're not even halfway.
Which says we're very, very, we're very babyfied all the time, and this is what it means to
Yeah.
do a
Oh, I
PhD.
have. Okay.
If
Okay,
you want to feel
last
like a
one?
baby,
I don't think I could
come
do
do
a
a
last.
PhD.
Oh no, it's only 4:00. Okay.
We have 15 minutes. A last one.
Wait. Being told you can submit. Yeah, we did that. Okay. Being cramped in an office with more desks than it should have, because our department thinks that health and safety doesn't apply to us too. Now, this is again very niche to our sociology.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that niche. I believe it happens to a lot of people in many different universities. Yeah.
But where it arose from
Yes.
was very specific
In
to us.
this university, at least, it is the sociology department. Across every other department,
that
there's
we've seen anyway.
at least like parity with respect to number of PhD students. We have 105 people registered right now as PhD students,
And
which is
12 desks.
ridiculous.
12
and
desks.
12 desks.
That's not even what this was, but
Oh, is it not?
no,
Okay.
because that is also another thing on the list, but we can do them twice. Yes, so we don't have enough desks. So what happened is, as we said, we've got 12 desks. We originally did not have 12 desks.
Yeah.
We originally had how many? 20? No, but not Elmfield.
Oh, no.
The current
20,
one.
yeah.
We had like 20 desks in a room that is supposed to fit 12 desks.
Yeah.
So if you had like some form of mobility, disability, don't expect to come into our office. It's not for you.
Yeah, no.
What else? We were just cramped in general. We had smaller
like
desks.
if you would move, suppose I was moving, so the chairs would be like very close to each other, and I wanted to move and go out. I had to continuously say, sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry.
You're weaving.
Yeah, you're just like trying to anyway get through and get out of that room. It was so difficult.
Which, as you can imagine, like, I don't know, if something happens like in a fire or something,
Yeah.
it makes things a lot harder for us to escape. It's violating health and safety.
Yeah.
It also violates privacy in a sense, unless you've got a privacy screen or something.
Yeah.
You're looking up data.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do that where everyone is so cramped and close together.
it also means you have a tiny desk that you don't have space to put your book on to read it, or your bottle of water or something. You cannot, I don't know, stand up. Like it's just so strange.
It is very, but
And
that's
when one of our reps went to whoever that person is, whoever the operations people are, whatever, to talk about it, they basically said, "Oh, we didn't think that health and safety applied to you," or some crazy things like that, because we're not people.
But
This is not that right. This ain't even
People.
infantilization. This isn't babification.
Yeah.
This is dehumanization.
dehumanization.
Because why should we have health and safety? Because we're PhD students. We're not people.
Yeah.
We are vehicles for research output.
Yeah.
We're not people.
That is one of my biggest problems, that this university, if you produce something really good, or in general, if you
don't
produce
deserve
any
it.
data, to be honest, they're going to own it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, this is what we produce every year.
And they don't deserve that.
No.
With
With the kind of resources that they're giving me, absolutely
I
not.
feel like that about all of our research in different ways. I think with my research, in terms of race and racism, I would hate to say that I hate the idea that they say they do anti-racist work because, like, no. And then even in yours, we spoke about the commodification of international students, right? I see your work as a form of reparations in the sense that, like, if they did this on a wider scale, you're looking at a problem that has direct causation from colonialism, right?
Yeah.
That this country has done.
Yes.
In the name of a lot of universities, in fact.
Yeah.
So you're doing this work, quote unquote, for free,
Yeah.
monetarily.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like you should. Because, like, if you're going to look at a problem, acknowledge a problem, try and address a problem in some way or form that has been created by colonizers, then the colonizers should pay for it. That's how I see it. In fact, they should really do a lot of the work. And so then the idea that they can now take it and say that this is something that they do also feels like disgusting to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's also a little bit about being included in the research culture of the university in general.
Yeah.
Like, I think as a PhD, as a PGR, you're sort of like shut off from a lot of things.
Oh, for sure.
Right. Like, you're meant to be doing research. You're not meant to be learning in the sense that you go to classes or you attend lectures and stuff like that and you need to do assignments. You're supposed to be doing your own research project that involves, like, obviously, like, I don't know, all of the same things that other research projects involve that staff members are doing, right? So I think there should be also opportunities for you to be able to share the work that you're doing with staff members on an equal, like, parallel level, right? To be able to see that there might be people that are not your supervisors that you have similar interests in, and you could be included in different things, or, like, I don't know, or just, like, even invited to things.
No, but very recently,
That they are creating for staff members.
I went to a workshop and I felt so excluded as a PhD person.
Yeah, it happens to me too.
If there are senior, and I hope some of you listening are senior people out there, you guys actively exclude PhD students as if like we don't exist. And it was just like a workshop sort of a situation where all the senior lecturers or like people were just talking among themselves, and we were in a round table. We were supposed to talk to each other, and they just made this clique of like themselves, and they were just like, oh yes, we should collaborate and this and that, and like me and other PhD students were just there, and that happens.
I don't know. I think that's what research should be, and that's what doing a PhD should be. You should be within a department, within a faculty, within a university that values the work you're doing. Obviously, you need training and you need support to do it, because it's like your starting point, right? To be able to do it. But in the same way, you're not going to develop as a researcher if you cannot be included and share things. And what are these hierarchies?
So many hierarchies.
What?
And it doesn't make any sense as well, because the whole reason we're on this course is because we were celebrated for, you know, being something. Like we were something that they liked, and they brought
chose
us on.
us to bring us here to do this research that they thought was important enough to fund us.
Right.
And
they
now
like
we are
our
just
minds.
here, and you're not paying any attention to anything or anyone. And you just close us in a room that fits like a tenth of us. And then if we dare ask something, you look on to the other side, or you say that we cause problems.
They don't even give us a ceiling. Like,
Oh no, but apparently
don't have a ceiling.
Lara and Matthias has told me that apparently that's the new decor.
well, to have no ceiling?
Yeah.
I like ceilings.
Oh, but
You
apparently
mean
it's
seeing the pipes?
Yes.
I don't like mind that so much.
It's disgusting. I'm not in a warehouse.
Did you told me and Matthias told me
No,
that it's like one of
it's
the
like a
architecture things.
trend thing, architecture thing, I guess. Yeah, but it depends. It's good for some spaces and not good for other
As a
spaces.
Salvation,
Like
I
an
was just
office
like,
space, no.
No,
It's
Like,
not good for
I
an
don't want to
office
see the
space.
pipes.
It's
but
just like
well.
I love seeing the
fucking
pipes, but
jalopy.
that's okay.
Oh, these are also are these? Is this? Is
No,
this
this is for the cameras and everything.
Oh,
But yeah,
okay.
you can see through.
Oh, that's scary.
It's just I don't like it. It's very
Yeah, anyway, the
unfinished.
ceiling I think
Yeah.
is not our biggest problem here.
It's not, but it even it's like now we don't even have a ceiling. Like, what would they give us? like, they're gonna get rid of the floor soon too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was nice.
Should we
Okay.
close this off somehow?
Yeah, let's close this off. Thank you for listening to our infantilization episode.
We have much more to say if you want to listen to it.
so much more. I even added one as Pragya was talking.
Yeah,
Oh.
nice.
So we might have to do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we bring Charlotte next time?
Yes, please.
Maybe.
Next time
Yes.
we'll bring
Yeah.
Charlotte.
And share your stories
That means
on how
nothing to
you are infantilized.
Yes, share your stories on how you're infantilized. If you're
Yeah.
on Spotify, you can actually comment.
We have so many followers now, and I say this every week, but every week it just keeps growing, and I'm
Yes.
just like, what?
Pragya, we have so many followers when people have millions and we have like 100 or something.
No, we have 324 now.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
And I made my
Yeah,
I didn't
actually-
make her, but my housemate followed us today.
We
morning,
actually have
so-
quite a few
Thanks,
views on
Ellen.
YouTube.
Yes, we do actually have
Which
quite a
is
few views on
interesting.
YouTube. This is the
what?
time
Yeah.
to
What
plug
do we have?
things. This is the
Views
time
on
to plug
YouTube.
things.
Oh, what?
Yes.
I've not
We've
even
got
tried
like over
looking.
100 and some.
What?
Anyway,
Okay.
this is the plug. We now have a YouTube.
You guys are in love with me. Just
So-
say it. Just say it. I'm ready. After this PhD, I would probably not have a job. So if you have the money,
The
let me
sugar
know.
daddy, sugar mommy for
I plan
Pragya.
to be having a
I
job.
don't have a sweet tooth, so maybe not a sugar daddy.
That's not
or
what it
mommy,
means, but
I know.
okay.
Yeah, I'm just making it. Anyway,
But yes,
tell me you love me, it's
plug.
Yeah.
If you listen to us on
Chaos.
on what? What do people listen to us on?
So
Outside
many
everything
things.
that's not
There's so
Spotify,
many
so like
things.
Apple and all the others. And you can only hear us and you can't see us. We have a YouTube, and on that YouTube you can see us. So it's the episodes, how we always have the episodes,
I'm gonna have a
but
look.
visually. We also have a bonus video on there from our red and green flag game. Yeah, let us know if you're feeling it.
Okay.
Yes, we're on YouTube. We're still on Spotify. We're still on Apple. We're still on everything else. If you are
Still
on Spotify,
alive, still
If
doing our
somehow you're
PhDs.
following us on Spotify and not on Instagram, that doesn't make any sense.
sure,
So
follow
please,
us on our
yeah.
socials. They are all at PHDamPod. And what else was I gonna say? Yeah, on Spotify you can send us a voice message. You can send us. That's on our Instagram page. You can see like
Can
the
you
link
really
for
do
that.
that?
Yes.
Okay.
They can send
this
voice
is your
messages.
this
so
is
they
your
can-
cue to express your love for me. Thank you.
And they can be in our episode. You can also comment under the episodes. You can add polls. You can email us. Our email is
But don't email us.
gmail.com.
We already have too many. Don't email
just
us.
DM us or something.
Unless you want to give us money.
DMing us is easier on Twitter or Instagram.
Yeah.
We
And
do not
definitely
have a
don't DM
TikTok.
us if you're a Zionist or if you want for us to do
Fuck
something
you
for
if you're
you
a Zionist.
without
Yes.
any reimbursements.
Yeah, even if the reimbursement doesn't even have to be money, I'd appreciate money, but it doesn't have to be money.
Yeah.
It just, as long as there's like some form of symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, like
I'm
we
happy.
get something from you.
Yes.
Getting something, right?
And please like listen to our podcast if you want to be on it, so you can understand the format, because it doesn't make any sense
No, it doesn't.
for you to be on something. but
Okay,
you
bye,
don't.
bitches. That's
Yes.
it. Bye.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh,
I don't know what Praga is doing.
I'm saying goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Okay.